Hello and welcome to LFC Focus. So the draw for the group stage of the Champions League campaign is finally complete. I think that's one of the most long and boring bureaucratic experiences any of us will have to go through. UEFA always find a way to make it go on for as long as possible, but Liverpool have now finally found out their fate. They are in Group C, and if you ask me, it's a pretty good draw. You know, there are obviously some big teams in there. PSG and Napoli are going to be some massive ties, but that's kind of what you want in the Champions League. You know, you don't want the group stage to be a complete doddle. I think if we'd got our group from last season, while, you know, Sevilla and Spartak Moscow and who was the other one, Maribor, that was quite nice for our first season back in the Champions League because it helped us ease ourselves in and make sure we kind of established ourselves before we took on any big teams. I think now we know that Liverpool are more than capable of taking on the biggest teams in Europe and beating them in their own games. So by now, I think PSG and Napoli actually represent a really good set of ties. And you know, one of the most important things as well is they're not teams that sit back and defend. You know, Napoli will probably be a little bit different to the way they were last season. I think I'd rather, on balance, have faced the Napoli of last season under Maurizio Sarri that were very gung-ho in terms of attack and left a lot of space open at the back. Now under Carlo Ancelotti, they're probably going to be a wee bit more defensive. Might be slightly difficult to break down, but, you know, they're not going to sit back and park the bus or anything ridiculous like that. And PSG obviously are an all-out attacking side with the talent they've got. You know, it'd be great to see players like Mbappe and Neymar coming to Anfield and playing away at PSG as well. I think that's going to be a really, really good tie. If you ask me, that's the one I'd want first, because then you've got a little bit of extra pressure on them to deliver in their first game, and that's exactly what we want. We want them to come out, we want them to play, and we want to catch them unaware. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those two teams, especially when you consider it was looking like it was a straight shootout between that group and the one with Atletico Madrid and Dortmund in, which I really didn't want, because I think Dortmund, you know, solid side, they're Jurgen Klopp's old team as well, so there's a huge amount of emotion there, and they can always drum up an incredible atmosphere at their home stadium. And then Atletico Madrid, you know, such a difficult team to break down, and they've got so much threat on the counter-attack that even if we beat them in both games, we would have been absolutely knackered for those Premier League games at the weekend. And also, aways in Naples and aways in Paris, not that bad. We don't have to travel far. The flip side of that being we'll have to go to Serbia for the games against Red Star Belgrade, which is going to be a little bit difficult. Hopefully, the game we play there doesn't have too difficult a Premier League game the weekend after. If we've got someone like Man City after an away in Serbia, it's not ideal, is it? But hopefully we'll still come out of both those games. Hopefully that'll end up being like the Maribor of the group, where we get a safe 3 points from both of those matches. I mean, you'd certainly expect the one at Anfield, we'd blow them out the water. But yeah, all things considered, I think that's a really good group. And if you as a Liverpool fan are worried about it, just think how PSG and Napoli fans are feeling right now, because if there's one team no one wanted from pot 3 whatsoever, it was Liverpool. You know, last season's finalist, potentially the best team in Europe last season in terms of the way they played in the Champions League and the games they won and how they did it and how they got to the final. That was the team you didn't want from that pot, so they will be absolutely kicking themselves that they are in this situation. And to be honest, it's just made me really, really excited, because I want the season to get as exciting as possible, as quickly as possible. And with games against PSG and Napoli coming up, this season is about to get really, really interesting. So that is all for today's video. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video and if you're happy with the draw, then why not give it a like? If you're new around here as well, hit that subscribe button there. Check out the other videos on the channel over the past few days as well. Don't forget to follow at LFC Focus TV on Twitter, and I'll be back on Sunday, unfortunately not Saturday, for some post-match analysis of the game against Leicester. Until then, bye for now.